For more on this story, we can go to our guest this afternoon. We can go to a story that looks at why this visit by Zelensky comes at a crucial moment, and especially as the Russian army has said it's gained crucial military gains in the crucial strategic town of Pokrovsk recently and in the Zaporizhia region. For more on this visit, we can speak to Michael Benhamou, who's the executive director of the think tank OPEI Europe's War Institute. Thank you very much for speaking to us on France 24.
Thanks for the invitation.
At 100 Rafale jets, this is a huge order for Paris. They're very expensive. They cost around 100 million euros, I believe.
Approximately, yeah.
And they take several years to make as well. So where are these jets going to come from?
They will not be delivered immediately, probably, because Dassault Aviation, who produces the Rafale, they have a lot of orders coming from India, Indonesia, and also the Middle East. So these Rafale will probably come in 2029, 2030. But definitely this sale of 100 Rafale is going to, in a way, lock the relationship between France and Ukraine for at least a decade. This is what it means. And it's going to be quite difficult to actually question that decision because billions of euros are at stake, a lot of jobs in France. And lastly, on this, it's very good news for Dassault Aviation because it puts Dassault at the heart of the European defense ecosystem in terms of aviation technologies. So this is an important moment at the scale of France, of course, but also at the scale of Europe.
So what kind of impact would these jets have on the battlefield concretely, especially if they take a long time to arrive?
Very good question. I think right now we have a problem in Ukraine, which is that we cannot reach the rear of Russian forces, which can now operate rather freely with their drone systems and also with their artillery. So what is the rear? It's this area which is between 5 and, let's say, 30 kilometers behind combat lines. It's the reason why Russia is able to advance right now in Pokrovsk and in different areas all along the battle line. It's because Ukraine cannot contest this logistics rear. With Rafale, it might be possible to do that in the midterm.
But there would need to be training for pilots of these aircraft, right?
It takes years, definitely. As I said in the beginning, it will take approximately 10 to 15 years to actually consolidate the acquisition and then the training and then also the adjustment. Because once you have a system like that operating on the battlefield, usually the client is asking for modifications, and Ukraine will probably ask for improvements and modification given the intensity of the fight it is in with Russia. Russia, which is a country with high technological prowess. So this is going to be for Dassault and for France. It's a huge technological test. The Rafale has been tested, for example, between Pakistan in the quick war between Pakistan and India recently. But this is another level of battlefield tests for the Rafale, definitely.
And what about drones? I mean, they've kind of taken center stage, if you will, in this war on both sides. And we're seeing, drones are going to be part of a discussion this Monday, a drone forum which will unite Ukrainians and French involved in this sector. What can the Ukrainians get out of this? Do the French have what they need to give the Ukrainians? We can just see the leaders there arriving for a press conference. We're going to listen to that live.
Bravo. Deuxième question. Le second échange de parapheurs porte sur...
C'est celui qui vient de se faire, je pense. Allez-y, mais expliquez peut-être.
Le second échange de parafeurs portait sur
Second
un
exchange.
le paraphe d'un accord de don
A
entre le gouvernement de la République
document,
française et le
donation
gouvernement
agreement between the two governments contributing to the support of critical and priority infrastructure in Ukraine. The third exchange of document is about the already signed document between Alstom Transport and GSC Railways in Ukraine, over 55 electric locomotives and the future cooperation. The signer, Mr. Henri Poupard-Lafarge and Alexander Pertovsky, President and Chairman of the Ukrainian Party.
Між урядом України та урядом Французької Республіки, що сприяє підтримці критичної інфраструктури та пріоритетних секторів економіки України. Третій документ – заява про підписання угоди між компаніями Alstom Transport і АТ «Укрзалізниця» контракту на постачання 55 електровозів та лист про наміри щодо продовження її співпраці. Підписано генеральним директором АТ «Укрзалізниця» паном Олександром Перцовським та генеральним директором компанії Alstom паном Анрі Пупар-Лафаржем.
Congratulations.
Cette cérémonie est maintenant terminée.
This ceremony is now finished. Let's move on with the press conference. Thank you. Dear Volodymyr, dear President, ladies and gentlemen, ministers, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy sense of responsibility and respect that I welcome yet again the Ukrainian President in Paris. Interpretation, please.
Non, mais c'est important.
It is important.
Est-ce que les interprètes sont en cabine?
Do we have interpreters on site in their booths?
Est-ce que les interprètes sont en cabine?
Are interpreters ready?
While we wait for those technical issues to be sorted out there at the press conference, Michael Ben-Hamou from OPOE, Europe's War Institute, joins me on set. Why is this visit, one of many of Zelensky's to France, significant this time around?
I believe that the visit to this operational center, now called the multinational force for Ukraine, is more than a symbol, because this force, which is basically composed of 200 officers who are now planning for a potential European military intervention in Ukraine in case of a ceasefire, is something which is very important. It shows Ukrainians that Europeans are now taking charge of the situation at NATO. Before, the Americans were the big factor, and now with Trump pulling back to other places like the Caribbean, for example, the Europeans realize that they have to take the lead in the response of NATO for Ukraine, and so planning such operations is key. It doesn't mean that the Europeans are going to send a force, but you bring officers from France, from the UK to do something like this. I brought with me actually an operational. Yeah, but maybe you want to pursue with the president.
We'll take a listen to
Just
President
saying,
Macron.
this is important